Hi, let's yap. Before we begin, a big shout out to Nicole Rafey here on YouTube. I think that's how you pronounce your name, so sorry if I mispronounced it. I will be linking her channel in the description as well. She basically, I don't know if she created this template, but she definitely made it popular for Unhinged, like recap videos, kind of like what I'm doing, and I was definitely heavily inspired by her to make this video. Now, let's get into some Love Island. But first, if you want to be a part of more fun random yap sessions like this, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of yap ideas that I want to get out there, and the topics drastically differ in subject. This is my first and possibly my last Unhinged recap deep dive, hopefully not my last. It was fun to do, but my script is 8 pages, so this video could very well be over an hour long. I don't know, I haven't filmed it yet, but basically all that to say, my hyperfixations do go crazy, and I have some really fun ideas that I like to just yap about. Also, as always, in my description, there will be links to the situation in Palestine, the Congo, and Sudan. If you have the means to help, please do. If you just want to educate yourself, please do. And if you have a bigger platform than me, please spread awareness of these issues. Now, let's get into the video. I am an original Love Island watcher. Kind of. I have watched 2 full seasons of Love Island in my life, and that would be the UK version, season 5, and this video that I am about to recap, which is the US season 6. I was there, okay? I was in the trenches for the release of season 5. I watched as Molly May and Tommy Fury fell in love. I started to try a few other seasons of the UK edition after that, but I never really fully watched a season, mainly because I really felt like none of them matched the freak of season 5. Season 5 is like proclaimed as like the most iconic season of Love Island, and let me just tell you, as a self-proclaimed original Love Island watcher, I was appalled when the US version came out. Absolutely appalled. And rightfully so, because I tried to watch season 1, and in my opinion, it was just not good. No hate on the Islanders of that season. I just could not get into it. Like, if none of the other UK edition seasons could live up to it, this one really couldn't live up to it. So it's safe to say I did not finish that season either. Now, this was my thought process for every season of the US version of the show. It was completely tainted for me, right? I could not watch a season of this until I, of course, was scrolling through TikTok because I'm chronically online and started to see so many videos like this.
Suck my dick, whatever you've heard about me, times it by 1,000,000, and if you think it's bad, make it worse.
So thus, there came a night when I was sitting in my basement, looking for a background noise show to watch as I sewed, and I decided to put on the newest season of Love Island, the US edition. And then, I proceeded to finish said season only 4 days later. That's right. That's right. A show where episodes last about an hour, and there are 36 episodes. I finished in 4 days. A round of applause, if you please. That's impressive. If you don't know what Love Island is, it's basically just a dating show where 10 hot single people go to a tropical paradise, couple up with each other, participate in challenges, and see if they can fall in love. They are completely cut off from the outside world and often thrown curveballs and new bombshell contestants who come in to test the couples. Now that we have all of that information, I need to move to a new location in order to properly begin my recap. Please ignore the fact that I am doing this on my fridge. It's unhinged for a reason, babes. Okay, so season 6 premiered on June 11th, 2024, and was hosted by Ariana Madix and one of my favorite contestants from UK season 5, Maura Higgins. Maura mainly did just host the After Sun episodes with an occasional appearance in the actual show itself. However, Ariana was the one that introduced us to our main cast, and we will, of course, be starting with the women. This is Leah Kateb. She is a 24-year-old college student who lives in California. Serena, I am so sorry about your picture. For some reason, Walmart just didn't want to print out a picture of you. But this, I am so sorry, is Serena Page, a 24-year-old media planner who lives in Texas. This is Janae Craig, a 27-year-old day trader who lives in Nevada. Kayla Martin, a 22-year-old graduate student who lives in Pennsylvania. And finally, Hannah Smith, a 26-year-old bottle server who lives in North Carolina. So, these are our original women of the season. Beautiful, gorgeous. Again, I am so sorry, Serena. Now, on to the boys. This is Rob Roush, a 25-year-old snake wrangler from Alabama. He can wrangle these snakes, if you know what I'm saying. I'm so sorry. This is Coy Simmons, a 29-year-old, 6'8" school district unit director from North Carolina. Aaron Evans. He can wrangle Rob Snake, if you know what I'm saying. A 27-year-old deckhand from England. This is Kendall Washington, a 26-year-old who works in medical device sales in Texas. And finally, this is Cordell Beckham, the 22-year-old brother to Odell Beckham Jr., model, aircraft funeral, and future ambassador of Cheez-Its from Texas. Coupling up this time around was a little bit different because the girls got to choose who they were most attracted to. And if more than one girl went to a boy, then the boy had to choose which one of the girls he wanted to couple up with. They also got to play a game right before coupling up to see who they were most compatible with off the jump, and this game involved quite a lot of making out. I'll tell you that. We have Coy. And the first pairing went like this. Hannah, Serena, and Janae all went to, I am sorry, Janae. They all went to Coy. Shocking. He's 6'8". Did I mention that? Nobody went to my short king Cordell. Kaylor went to Aaron. Nobody went to Kendall. And, sorry, separated from the rest, Leah went to Rob. So, this is who all the girls went to. But then the boys had to choose what girls they wanted to couple up with. Coy chose to couple up with Janae. And that was it. I forgot he was the only one that had 3 girls go to him. After this, the remaining 2 girls got picked by the remaining 2 boys. Cordell chose to couple up with Serena, and Kendall chose to couple up with Hannah. So these are our first couples of Love Island Season 6. Now, right off the bat, Rob and Leah seemed to click pretty well, and Kaylor and Aaron clicked pretty well. Well, the other couples definitely seemed like they had a lot of room to grow, and, well, they had like an initial connection. It seemed like there was a lot that needed to be done for those couples to actually be strong. Now, day 2 rolls around, and of course, the first bombshell comes in. This is Liv Walker, a 21-year-old college student from Australia. It is important to note that when Liv pulled Aaron for a chat, Kaylor was already crying. Miss Ma'am, you have been in a couple for 1 day. That's all I gotta say, sorry. Now, Liv only had a very short time to form a connection before she chose to couple up with Rob, which of course left Leah single. This also caused quite a lot of drama right off the bat. Leah really thought she clicked with Rob, but Liv's decision to choose Rob after Rob said Leah had nothing to worry about stirred the pot quite a bit. Real quick intermission. I think another aspect that makes this season feel like UK season 5 is the fact that so many of the Islanders use a lot of the iconic lines from this version, from the UK version in general. Phrases like, "Can I post chat?" and "Oh, he's giving me fanny flutters," are used very often, and while they do feel a little uncanny coming out of the American accent, it does really bring back that season 5 vibe, if you know what I'm saying. So, Liv is coupled up with Rob, and Leah is now single after day 2. Immediately after Liv and Rob coupled up, new Islanders Hiiiiii and Connor came into the villa. Also, I'm done doing full introductions now, by the way. This video would just be far too long if I did introductions for every Islander. Hiiiiii, with peace and love, you are possibly the biggest red flag I have ever seen walk into Love Island. With peace and love, I'm so sorry. So, new boys in the villa, if I can point, new boys in the villa and a new couple. But Liv and Rob had banter about as dry as the Sahara, with peace and love. So by day 4, when a new recoupling came about, Leah and Rob ended up recoupling. Liv ended up coupling with Hiiiiii. Hannah and Kendall, Kayla and Aaron, and Serena and Cordell all decided to stay in their couples. However, Janae chose to couple up with hot new bombshell Connor. This just isn't working. Okay, that works. Leaving Coy to be single and to be the first Islander dumped from the villa. Now, there's a few challenges and chats in between, but when the challenge Vacation Vixens rolls around, the girls decide to get messy as hell. While everyone seemed to be pretty happy in their couples, during this challenge, Kayla, my girl, chose to kiss Hiiiiii. Leah, who fought tooth and nail for Rob, chose to kiss Kendall. Hannah chose to kiss Hiiiiii. And Liv chose to kiss Kendall. Janae picked Connor. These two picked each other. And Serena chose to kiss Cordell, but her little javelin missed its mark, and she ended up kissing Aaron instead. So that was probably the messiest challenge, and it left all of the boys absolutely fuming. Quick side note, Kayla, with peace and with love, you can't keep kissing other boys, saying you have the strongest connection with Aaron, and then cry when he chooses to kiss another girl. I'm sorry, with peace and love. So, things are a little rocky between Leah and Rob, because Leah still feels like she has a lot of unanswered questions from the time when Liv chose to couple up with Rob. And that's when, boom, 2 new bombshells enter the villa. We've got Andrea, and we've got Nicole. Nicole, again, I am so sorry Walmart did not want to print your picture, so this is you. Apologies. During the first challenge that these ladies have, by the way, dressed up in lingerie, they were having a lingerie party when these ladies came in. Nicole chose to kiss Kendall and Cordell, and Andrea chose to kiss Aaron and Rob. I would like to quote Leah here saying, "It wouldn't be a bombshell if she wasn't kissing my man." Iconic. Because man, poor Leah getting her man like this twice now, basically in a row. Day 8 rolls around, and now the boys get to choose if they would like to recouple up with Nicole or Andrea. Cordell, Hiiiiii, Kendall, and Rob. You deserved that. Rob, after saying, "I'm sorry" to Leah, all stand up. Andrea then chooses to couple up with Rob, leaving Leah single. Nicole chooses to couple up with Kendall, leaving Hannah single, and awkwardly making Cordell go back to Serena and Hakeem go back to Liv. So now Hannah and Leah are single, but they are not dumped from the island. And that's when, you guessed it, Bombshell Miguel comes into the villa. And he comes in during a kissing challenge, and he gets to kiss all of the girls while they are blindfolded in this challenge. Miguel then is immediately being pulled left and right by these women to get chats from him. Also during this time, Janae and Leah are both flirting with Connor. Day 10 then rolls around, and so does another recoupling. Aaron and Kaylor, of course, recouple. Kendall and Nicole recouple. Robin and Drea recouple. But this time, Connor and Leah couple up. New boy Miguel couples up with Liv. Cordell recouples with Serena. And finally, Hakeem decides to couple up with Janae, leaving our girl Hannah to be the first girl dumped from the island. Now, the split second Leah is coupled up with Connor, she stops liking him, which, like, I can't really blame a girl because that's just too real. She also cited that his skinny jeans gave her the ick, which, again, I can't not agree with her. I'm so sorry, Connor. Now, instead of recoupling for the next dumping, the public voted for who they thought the weakest couples were, and that left the individuals from those couples vulnerable of being dumped by their fellow islanders. 3 boys and 3 girls were left vulnerable. The boys being Rob, Hakeem, and Kendall. And the girls, of course, then being Andrea, Janae, and Nicole. The boys voted for walking red flag Mr. Hakeem to be dumped from the island. The girls voted for Miss A Potato Flew Around My Room, Andrea, to be dumped, which, if you don't remember, Leah was upset at Andrea for stealing Rob. So Leah is instantly worried that Rob will think she purposefully got Andrea kicked off. Which, like, when you look at it, I feel that actually wasn't the reason, and that each girl did have an equal say in who got kicked off. Kendall and Nicole did seem stronger than Andrea and Rob, and while Janae and Hakeem weren't very strong, obviously the girls wanted Janae to stay, because at this point they were all really close friends with her, and she had done nothing to prove that she wasn't a girl's girl, unlike Andrea, who said this about Hannah.
Worked out all the time in the villa.
The first thing Liv said when they all crouched down to talk about their decision was, obviously we are saving our girl Janae, which left it down to Andrea and Nicole. And like I said, even though Nicole had also been talking to Miguel and had actually just kissed him, it was obvious that she and Kendall were pretty close already. So, the girls dump Andrea, and my boy Rob says he wants to leave with her. But ultimately, he does decide to end up staying, leading to Leah's most iconic soundbite yet.
I knew. After that, he literally did his big one up there. That was like a movie. He stood up there and said, "Now, you sending 3 home, and then you're still here, bitch, in your overalls. Now what?"
Okay, so then several back and forth arguments between Rob and Leah, and Rob bringing in Kayler and Liv to ask how the vote went down, and big fights break out between Leah and Liv about Leah apparently having the biggest poll in the vote and dumping Andrea so she can get back with Rob. This, of course, ends things pretty much permanently for Leah and Rob. Well, Leah will say later on that she still thinks he's hot and she would still couple up with him. At this point, I don't think Rob is coupling up with our girl Leah anymore. After this, 3 new bombshells come in. Cassidy, Nigel, and Kenny. These are our 3 new bombshells. During this time, Leah also decides to permanently end things with Connor, stating that she still does have feelings for Rob, and she did admittedly kind of lead Connor on for a few days during this whole process, but it is what it is. On day 15, there is another recoupling. Serena and Cordell stay coupled up. Janae couples up with new boy Kenny. Nicole recouples with Kendall. New girl Cassidy couples up with single boy Rob. Kayler, of course, recouples with Aaron. If you're starting to notice a trend, good job. Liv ends up coupling up with Nigel. Leah then has to choose between Connor and Miguel. And if you don't remember, Leah literally just ended things with Connor. So she, of course, decides to couple up with British boy Miguel, causing our boy Connor to be dumped from the villa. The very next day, Rob and Cassidy, brother, and Liv and Nigel are voted as the weakest couples from the public. This leaves them all vulnerable and forces the safe islanders to once more choose someone to kick off. Not only that, but this is brutal because the other islanders actually have to stand behind the person that they want to save. Ultimately, of course, Rob and Liv are the ones saved as they are the oldest islanders on, but this leaves Cassidy to be dumped from the villa and Nigel to be dumped from the villa. They had a short run. Now, before we get into the drama of the season, it's important to note that at this point, Aaron and Kayler are basically in a relationship. Although it has not been verbally said or made official in any sort of way, they have both strongly hinted to each other that they are pretty much closed off, even though they haven't said it out loud. Kayler has talked about how she's on her way to falling in love with Aaron. And, well, Serena and Cordell have been having this kind of ongoing back and forth thing. Serena has been wanting to take things very, very slow. They were seen as probably the second strongest couple in the villa. Now, it's time for Casa Amor. If you're unfamiliar with Love Island, Casa Amor is always the messiest moment of the seasons. Basically, the boys all leave to a new house called Casa Amor, and new girls go into that house. At the same time, our girls back home in the villa have new boys come into the villa. This, of course, gives all of the islanders a new chance to get to know some different people. However, there was a twist this season. The original Villa boys were allowed to choose whether they wanted to stay or go to Casa Amor. Well, Aaron did debate not leaving. Ultimately, he chose to go, which absolutely devastated Kayler when they were told that the boys had the choice. It also made Serena pretty mad, seeing as quite literally the night before, she told Cordell that she really liked him and that she saw something growing between them. So, we've got new girls in with our boys. Again, I am not introducing any of these ladies. I am so sorry, ladies. You are beautiful. So these are our new girls, and in the villa, these are our new boys. Almost immediately, Cordell and Aaron's heads are turned. These are the boys with the strongest connection. Almost instantly, they start hitting on new girls. Miguel's head is also turned immediately. Kenny is definitely getting to know other girls, and while Kendall initially wanted to get to know the other girls, he really can't see his head getting turned by any of the girls in there. That, of course, does not stop him from stirring the pot and encouraging the other boys to really get to know the new girls. Hi, Editor Sam here. I didn't mention this in the video because I didn't want to dive too much into like the like deep dive like drama of the season. I like really just wanted to recap it, but I think it is really actually important to note that I 100% think Nicole and Kendall were just playing the game. Like I think they had a silent agreement at one point to just get their bag and like win the season. I don't think they actually liked each other. And, yeah, I think that's why, especially in Casa Amor, Kendall wasn't really talking with a lot of the other girls, and he was instead encouraging the guys to ruin their couples, especially the guys that had, like, the strongest couples. So that's what I think happened there. Thought I would just spill that. Single boy Rob is also obviously getting to know the other girls, but weirdly he's struggling to make a connection more than the boys that were in strong couples. Meanwhile, everyone, except for, of course, single Liv, is basically staying loyal to their men. While they are really trying to get to know the boys, none of them are really that much into it. So, to quickly sum up the messiness so that this video isn't extremely long, Kayla and Serena can't stop talking about how much they miss their boys. Nicole, Janae, and Leah also start to miss their boys. A little bit less since their couples are a little more fresh, but like they're also realizing how distance is making the heart grow stronger for them. And at the same exact time, our boy Aaron is making out with new girl Daniela outside of challenges. Cordell is making out with new girl Dea damn near every night. Kenny and Miguel are making connections with Catherine and Sierra. Eventually, Aaron does decide to stop talking to Daniela, instead choosing to push her towards Rob, but not before Kayla and Serena get sent a video of Cordell and Dea making out and Aaron heavily flirting with Daniela. This video and the fallout of this video are absolutely insane.
He got this on top of his head, yeah. Cordell. Moving very slimy, grimy, and disrespectful. I can't even bring myself to cry. Maybe I'm still in shock. That's like, wow. It just like shows me who he really is. Like, fooling around with me in the bedroom, he's rubbing a girl's feet. Telling me he wants to meet my family, but he's kissing another girl. Because this has happened to me so much, I cope by, making jokes. But I mean, like, I don't know, that is so stupid. I just feel dumb and like,
Challenges between the two houses are also extraordinarily messy, and at one point, I thought I was watching an orgy. Thank you, Love Island. Oh, in summary, messy as fuck. Now, the time has come. The boys are coming back to the villa, and they're either going to come back accompanied by one of these new women, or they're going to stay loyal to their old couples. Being single, Liv, of course, decides to couple up with one of the new villa boys. And that boy being British boy Kane. Now, Nicole here does decide to stay in her couple, and thankfully, so does Kendall. So Kendall comes back in, and they stay coupled up. Leah also decides to stay in her couple with Miguel, but Miguel did not. Instead, our boy Miguel comes back in with Casa Amor girl Sierra, leaving our girl Leah single. I had to do some reorganizing. It's gonna get chaotic, trust me. Janae chooses to stay in her couple with Kenny, but Kenny does not. Instead, Kenny comes back in coupled up with Catherine. which this almost immediately leads to Janae wanting to leave the island and Kenny feeling very guilty over his choice to come back in with a new girl. Mind you, Kenny and Janae were only coupled up for 2 days before Casa and Amor, but Janae really thought that they had a strong connection. And Catherine, with peace and with love, why did you walk into the villa like this?
You're fucking kidding me. I hardly think about you anymore. About the way it was before. You are a piece of shit. Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm done. I ain't never looking back again.
Now, Kaylor did not choose to couple back up with Aaron, but she also chose not to recouple with any of the boys. Instead, Kaylor chooses to stay single. While Aaron did come back alone and not in a new couple, he was also left single since Kaylor chose to stay single. And right after this, Rob comes back in hand with Daniela, who, if you don't remember, was making out with Aaron. Of course, most of the girls immediately recognized Daniela from the video that they were sent, but sadly, Kaylor did not recognize her immediately, and she actually ended up cheering for Rob when he came in. Liv also had this iconic line.
You thought sharing the toothbrush was weird.
Serena also chose to stay single, which was a good choice, seeing as Cordell came back in with Casa Girl, Dea. So, all in all, if you weren't paying attention, 2 girls from Casa were sent home, which freaking beautiful girls, by the way. And I don't remember her name, but if you swing both ways, call me. Well, quite literally, 5 boys, by the way. Iggy, you have my heart, and if you're still single, call me. 5 boys leave the villa. Do you know how insane that is? Sorry, I have to give a little tribute to each of them because I went through all the effort of printing out their pictures only for only one of them to get coupled up. Arguably, the worst one. With peace and love, Kane. With peace and love. The fallout from the Casa pics is absolutely insane. Serena has a full-on yelling match with Cordell, which lasts quite a few days, and it also makes him realize that he actually likes Serena more than his new couple Dea. Kenny realizes that he messed up, and he starts talking more to Janae again. Miguel realizes that he has a stronger connection with Leah, but doesn't like the way Leah inserts herself in everyone's drama, which also led to her having a fight with Cordell. Liv and Kane almost immediately don't work out, and Sierra begins chatting it up with Kane. Catherine is definitely there. Kaylor gets hella gaslit by Aaron and almost immediately forgives him. Even with Rob being coupled up with Daniela, Rob and Aaron being besties, and Aaron and Daniela making out in Casa Amor. So the next challenge is a challenger where the islands basically read tweets, and the islander or couple that reads them has to guess which names fill in the blanks. Nothing too big comes out of this, except the post that says this.
And blank. Especially after seeing those tweets about how she was in Odell Beckham Jr.'s comments. She came to the villa with a plan and blank dumbass fell for it, throwing all the morals he claimed he was gonna have before entering contact. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? I've never done that in my fucking life. I know damn sure I wasn't in his comments. I was never. I swear to God, I was in cry. No. Listen, okay, I think it is Dea and Cordell. Oh my God. Cordell, who the fuck else would it be? Exactly.
This, in turn, makes Cordell question Dea's intentions, and ultimately, he basically ends up 100% leaning towards Serena after this. And eventually, Serena also decides to start forgiving Cordell, and they become stronger than ever after that. The next night is movie night, and the Islanders are shown a bunch of damning clips that affect mainly Kaylor and Aaron's relationship, which was also already still very rocky. But oh my God, Kaylor almost immediately forgives him. Almost immediately. The drama between Rob and Leah is brought back up, and Liv and Leah is also brought back up, and a full-on screaming match breaks out between all of them, causing Rob to get really sad but ultimately forgive Leah. Okay, now let's address Rob and Aaron. Aaron is obsessed with, where are you? Rob. And he vehemently defends him and fights his battles during the arguments of movie night. This has already been brought up like quite a lot, but their bromance definitely seems to be a little bit more than a bromance for Aaron. Kaylor, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, but denial is a river in Egypt.
Your husband is gay!
On day 24, another recoupling happens, and since there is an insane amount of women, it's the men's choice. Kenny chooses to recouple with Janae instead of Catherine. Cordell chooses to recouple with Serena instead of Dea. Kane chooses to couple up with Sierra instead of Liv. Aaron chooses to recouple up with Kaylor, who is still being heavily gaslit. Miguel chooses to recouple with Leah. Kendall, of course, chooses to recouple with Nicole. And Rob ultimately chooses to couple up with Daniela. This leads Dea to be dumped from the island. It leaves Catherine to be dumped from the island. And of course, it also means our girl, Liv, getting dumped from the island. All the girls take Liv being dumped pretty rough, and like very understandably so. Well, Liv didn't manage to find a match inside the villa, probably because she was easily the most outspoken of the women who did not put up with a single ounce of a man's shit. As she should, by the way. She did become very, very close with all of the original girls, so this was a very sad moment, actually. And immediately after the girls get dumped, yup, you guessed it, new bombshell Harrison comes in. And Harrison here has 24 hours to choose who he wants to couple up with. Now, the issue with that is everyone is fairly content in their couples, save for Rob and Daniela, mainly because, like I said, Rob was a little weirded out seeing the clips of Daniela and Aaron at movie night, and Sierra and Kane, who are a very fresh couple, so of course they're not going to be like the most content with each other off the bat. Harrison has 3 dates to go on, and he chooses to go on the dates with Sierra, Nicole, and Daniela. On the dates, he kisses Sierra, and Nicole makes it fairly clear that she and Kendall are pretty tight. Ultimately, Harrison chooses to steal Sierra, causing Casa Boy Kane to get dumped from the island. The heart rate challenge saw everyone become a stripper. And it also brought in new girl Cassie. Immediately after this challenge, my girl Mara Higgins comes in to announce that America's votes have been put in for their favorite couples. The couples with the least votes are Aaron and Kaylor. Thank God, at least America can see when a woman's being gaslit. Harrison and Sierra, and Rob and Daniela. The Islanders got to choose to save one of the couples, which unfortunately was Kaylor and Aaron. But it didn't stop there, because Cassie also got to choose between Rob and Harrison who she wanted to couple up with. And ultimately, Cassie chooses to couple up with Rob. Of course, that means Daniela got dumped from the island, Sarah got dumped from the island, and our boy Harrison got dumped from the island, which Harrison, if you're still single. Besides a newlywed challenge, the most juicy thing that happens is that Cassie and Rob did the devil's tango in the rooms where everyone sleeps. Most people save that for the hideaway or for after the show, but you know, to each their own, live, laugh, love, all that jazz. Kaylor and Aaron also become official during this time, and they say, I love you to each other. Kaylor is still heavily being gaslit. Day 30. We are basically in the finale. America has once more voted for their favorite couples to go to the finale. Those couples are Kendall and Nicole, Janae and Kenny, Cordell, and Serena, and last but not least, Miguel and Leia. And this, of course, leaves Rob, dumped from the island, Cassie, dumped from the island, thank God, Aaron, dumped from the island, and his loving girlfriend, Kayla, dumped with him. Finally, we have made it to the last day and the final places for Love Island USA Season 6. In 4th place, we've got Kendall and Nicole. In 3rd place, we've got Janae and Kenny. In 2nd place, we've got Leah and we've got Miguel. And of course, the winners of Love Island Season 6 are Cordell and Serena. I really regret Serena and Nicole being the pictures that didn't print properly. So of course, Cordell and Serena also won $100,000, but Cordell is the one that chooses the envelope that has the $100,000 in it. But I mean, of course, Cordell chooses to split the $100K with Serena, proving that, oh my God, he was in it for love the whole time and not just for money. And that, my friends, was Love Island USA Season 6. If you liked this type of content, please consider subscribing. This video was quite a hefty one to make, so also consider possibly dropping a like, pretty please. If this does well, and if it would be something you guys are interested in, I would love to do a live reaction of the reunion. Editor Sam here. I was supposed to post this the weekend before the reunion, but I got extremely ill. So that was fun. I of course already watched the reunion. No chance I was gonna like wait. But I can film a breakdown of it. I can film what I wish I'd seen. I can do more, just let me know, but I will not be live reacting to it obviously because I already watched it. I also am really mad that I didn't get this out before the reunion, because it would have been great to have a recap out before the reunion, but it is what it is, and I have the immune system of a 1-day-old human being, so that's just lovely, isn't it? I think it's going to be very drama-filled, especially with Andrea and a lot of the other islanders running their gums off after being kicked from the island. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will go ahead and just yap with you next time.